Okay, welcome to Bothering the Band. My name is Ryan Marcel Bynack. I'm with Abigail and Levy, and we have a great episode with Laney Jones, who has a surprise viral hit on her hands. It's not a surprise to her, it's a surprise to us. It's in a Toyota commercial. Also, she is from Central Florida, surprisingly. So we'll have another Florida centric episode. She will be in your neck of the woods, Abby, opening for Blitzen Trapper. We're so happy to have her today. Laney Jones. Hey guys, what's going on?
Good. Nice. What is going on? We just got back from New York City, and I'm trying this Coca-Cola coffee for the first time. Yeah, trying to get myself jazzed. Uh,
Some Coca-Cola coffee.
with some Coca-Cola coffee. This interview brought to you by.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola Coffee. I just had a AHA caffeinated sparkling water.
Ooh, how was that?
It was not that good, but I think it's the flavor I chose. It's like mango black tea.
Oh yeah, that sounds awful.
And but I'm stubborn, and I bought like a 12 pack, and I'm trying to drink them faster to get through it actually. Welcome to Bothering the Band. My name is Ryan. This is Abby. She is the producer, the brains. We are so happy to have you, Laney. And
This is Brian.
Brian.
My name is Brian. I play drums with Laney. So.
Oh, awesome. We're so stoked to have you. So we always like to start off this way. How are you, and where the hell are you?
Oh, we're doing pretty well. You're doing great. Why not? And we're in Nashville, Tennessee, in our basement studio.
Very cool. Very cool. It looks cool from this. I mean, it's an audio medium, but for those who are missing out, I love the milk crates in the background, the posters, the keyboard, the drums with the cartoon on it. I have to just get the elephant out of the room. Abby and I are both from Central Florida.
Amazing.
So
Awesome.
you have a Bucks shirt on. I have a Magic thing right here.
That's amazing.
That was a surprise. Like how everything happened was all like kismet and fate. And then doing research, I was like, oh shit, she's from Central Florida. Oh, so where in Central Florida are you from?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Mount Dora, Florida,
Okay.
which is like 30 minutes north of Orlando. And Brian here grew up in like Winter Springs.
They're kind of like Winter Springs area. Had season tickets, not season tickets, but went to a bunch of Magic games as a kid, seeing Shaq and Penny. So those were the days,
Penny is my favorite basketball player.
Oh, yeah,
because
little Penny.
and my family lives in Winter Springs.
Oh, dang.
What high school did you go to, Brian?
Winter Springs High School.
What year did you graduate?
So I think that would be, I'm 36 now. It's crazy. So what is that? I always get confused with college and high school graduation. I think high school was 2000, I think.
No, you're 36. You're younger than me, and I was 2001. So
it must have been 2004.
Yeah. Close enough. My college girlfriend went to Winter Springs High School. We could talk about that after the podcast. But this is our second in the last month of very Central Florida centric episodes that just happen. And what we're learning is when we were growing up, we thought we were the only music geeks and punk rock kids and creative people. We're finding out that there were many, and we just weren't, before the internet, connected to these people such as yourself.
Totally. I think, it probably comes down to I don't know, Florida is such spread out, and it's like suburbia too. So I don't know. I just feel because I originally was born in Maryland, And I moved to Florida when I was 6, but when I was there, like, there's so many old people in Florida. I kind of joke that people go to die there. That sounds terrible. But it's
You're not the only one.
true. Yeah, so anyways, I didn't grow up with a lot of like close, just like neighborhood friends, and yeah, I feel like it feels like you're always like the one person in class that has like, oh, I like making mixed, CDs or playlists or whatever. And so, but it just keeps, but there's a lot of us that we're just spread out, in different parts of the Central Florida, I feel like.
Absolutely. And I mean, you talked about suburbia, old people. I would say about 20, 30 years ago, 100%. Orlando, very different now. It's actually cool. They have like,
Totally, yeah.
hipsters and craft beer and like white guys with dreads. And it's very different. I just wrote this question down. Brian, is it with a Y or an I?
It's with an I. I'm one of the I guys.
You're one of the I guys. I believe that is
the next Will Smith movie, I Guy.
Oh no, not Will
no,
Smith.
Will Smith.
Oh yeah, never mind.
I'll suck for that.
Oh man. Okay. What kind of car do you drive?
Me?
Either. We're just gonna go back and forth. So.
I a Toyota 2012 Prius, silver.
Do you have to drive Toyota?
No. What? Oh, because I got a Toyota commercial this year, which pretty much funded like my next couple years, I hope. Or I don't know. It's tough putting out a record, man. But yeah, no, I don't. I was driving a Prius before even that happened, so it's nice. It's been full circle. They paid for my car, kind of. So, yeah, that was pretty rad.
In doing our research, your song "Run Wild," I was like, how the fuck do I know this song? Like, obviously, you have millions of streams, and what's it like to have just like part of you blow up?
Dude, it's pretty wild. I think the funniest part is that there's like kids, because what happened was, I think part of the reason why it blew up on the internet in some ways is there's this Pokemon video of I think I should know this off the top of my head, but it's like Nightshade, Knight Rider. This great guy created a Pokemon like animation to like songs, and that was Run Wild was one of them. And so a whole bunch of like preteens watched this and was like all about it. And so, but it's really strange now because it's like that song's only like 5 years old, and there's a lot of people who come on my posts now and like, oh, nostalgia, takes me back to when I was in elementary school, or so that's pretty wild. But it's also really cool too to see a lot of people also responding that it's really helped them through like bullying times or kind of just like tough times where it's like, oh, the song's really about kind of giving no fucks and just being yourself, kind of just like, I'm just gonna be me and that's okay. So I think that's, at least that's a proud message that
Has anyone come to you and said, I bought a Toyota because of the song?
No, I feel like if that happened, I would record that and send that to Toyota and be like, hey,
need some more money.
Yeah, maybe we should do something else together,
Well, we can say that because I have a Toyota and Abigail has a Toyota as well. Brian, what are you driving?
I have a Kia Soul.
You bastard.
I know, I messed it all up.
What year is the Kia Soul?
It's 2012. Kind of came out when those hamster Kia commercials started coming out.
Yes, that's where I was going. Also, Abby and I commented recently on how the new Kia logo looks like a K and a backwards N. And so we're like, man, that should have been edited a little bit. You'll see it everywhere. So
Yeah,
not on your
looking out.
Kia. I think it's just the last year or so.
Yeah.
This podcast not brought to you by Kia.
I actually got a free a great Kia story now that we're talking about car companies. Is I actually got a free stuffed animal Kia hamster at the dealership. I spent like $300 in repairs, and I was like, since we had these repairs, is there any way I could negotiate for one of the free stuffed hamsters? And they were like, since you're a value customer, they were like $10, but they just gave it to me for free. So it was a good day.
What a steal!
Do you still have it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was like, I've never seen this little Kia guy.
I'm just making it all up. No, I did. It did happen, but I'm not sure where the hamster went.
It'd be funny if he's like, I have it in my pocket, ready? He's
Right.
I can carry it everywhere. You haven't noticed?
I lift up my beanie in there.
Okay, so all of us are from Florida, which is very wild. We'll do each of you here. We'll go to Brian first for this one. Finish the sentence. Florida is
hot and steamy.
Oh yeah. Very steamy. Good answer. All right. So Lane, Florida is
colorful.
I like it. I like it. Steamy and colorful.
I just think of Florida man, truthfully.
Florida is Florida man.
Yeah, it's just we got some colorful people. It's a mixed bag. Truthfully, the foliage, because now living in Tennessee for a little bit, and then I've also lived in Boston and China for a little bit too. And
we know.
Yeah, but whenever we come back to Florida, though, now, it's like, whoa, it's the subtropical vibes. I always just think of, like, the dinosaurs walking around, eating some of those greens out there. And so, yeah, too, going back into Florida, because I live more from, like, the Lake County area, so there's a big mixed bag of, like, you got people who are very more southerner kind of vibe versus compared to Orlando's very city-like, very hipster-like. And then, Florida's one of those states, the more north you get, the actual more south you get, and vice versa. So, I mean, it's just, it's a mixed bag of people down there. And I think that's I feel like there's actually a lot of interesting, like, creative people that come out of Florida just because I think we're exposed to all these different
cultures
and vibes,
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of musicians, a lot of comedians, and I'm always surprised. I'm always surprised by it. I need to know, and Abby's gonna like this. Your parents, I guess, had a farm with a bunch of crazy effing animals on it.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've been asked this a few times, but lay it on us. Kangaroos, wallabies.
Yeah, that's my parents are really fortunate enough where they kind of figured out how to just do stuff. I'm not saying this well at all. But anyways, they were just like, they don't have a lot of like hobbies. And so the one thing before I was born, they found this thing back in the day. It was called Animal Finders. And it was kind of like a catalog of like exotic animals of like people just like saying like, hey, like we have these or we're selling these. And like, if you want to get into that thing, that's cool. And my parents are just super animal lovers. And so they saw that there were some wallabies for sale in Connecticut. And we're like, okay, because they lived in Maryland at the time. They're like, okay, well, hey, let's do it. And they loved it. Like we had like, I guess we lived on like a couple acres back in Maryland. And they went from wallabies to getting some kangaroos. And kangaroos are much more actually friendlier because they're like bigger. So kind of like a big dog versus like a small dog, a little more skittish, a little more friendly. But it was wild when we're moving down to Florida. And my mom's originally from Florida. My dad actually had rented a conversion van and brought them like the mob of kangaroos because we had like, 15 of them at one point. Like then when they were moving them down or something, maybe 20. And that you would just like go back and forth between Maryland and Florida and just like driving them in the van. And yeah, there was some
picture
weird...
them in the passenger seat.
Like, yeah, right. No,
yeah, like imagine like filling up your gas tank and you look across and there's like 15 kangaroos.
Well, there are some weird. So before 9/11 and the crackdown on security and stuff in the airport, my mom would actually pretend that she was pregnant and hide a baby kangaroo underneath her inner stomach area, like would connect the pouch to her bra, because like with kangaroos, like for like they're just like they're small creatures when they're babies, and they need to be like bottle fed like really pretty consistently, constantly, like a baby. And but because they're exotic animals, like you would like, oh, you need a big crate and all this stuff, and they're like no one would even know they're on the plane. So we just like sneak them in. Yeah.
That is okay. 2 questions. One, Brian, how many times have you heard this tale?
Well, about the kangaroo getting snuck on the plane, I'd say maybe, I don't know, maybe just a few. Actually, that's a tale that she doesn't tell too often, but that must be a special night because that one doesn't come out too often. I hear a lot about the kangaroos, but I feel like that's one of my favorite particular kangaroo stories.
Do your folks still have these animals?
No, they got rid of them like kind of near the end of middle school for me. Like we had all those hurricanes that came through Florida. I have forgot the names of them now, but I just remember in 8th grade I didn't have to do anything in school. And so that was really hard on, the animals and stuff. So, and we had one kangaroo in particular, her name was Sydney, because we got her from this, she was retired from the Sydney Zoo. And when she passed away, it was like, oh man, it's really, she was like the one where I would go outside and like, we called it the roo pin. And she would like come up to me and like give me like a hug and start like cleaning me, because I'd known her since I was a kid, like real youth, like it's like 2 or 3. So when she passed away, I was like, oh man, it was really hard for the family. Our hearts kind of got out of it. So, but yeah, they had them good for a good long while now. My mom just, raises dogs, which it's funny enough, when I was a kid, all I wanted was a dog, but we had all these other creatures, and eventually I got a dog, but.
That's so fascinating. I bet you were the coolest kid in middle school, because everyone's like, let's go to Laney's house and play with the kangaroos.
It was definitely, it was one of those things you either thought I was cool or crazy.
We would have thought you were super cool. Okay, moving on. Very dumb question for both of you. Bowling lanes or candy canes?
Wow, love it. You want to take that one first, Laney?
I mean, bowling lanes all the way, just like Big Lebowski for me, get a little White Russian. Just I'm a terrible bowler, but I like the vibes, like those vibes. How about you, Brian?
Yeah, I got to second that. I think the bowling lanes, we're actually pretty big fans of bowling. We don't go all the time, but we definitely know how to have a good time at a bowling alley, like Laney was saying with the White Russians, and it's a good old Big Lebowski time.
Yeah, it's a nice little tour stop along the way when you're out on the road and you're looking for just something to do as a motley crew. Bowling's is a good time.
I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, how about you guys? What do you mean by candy canes?
I don't know. We like to come up with like either or questions that are nonsensical but somehow related. Laney, bowling lanes, I don't know.
No, I love it. I was just curious, what would be your go-to answer since you asked it?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna deflect here.
Why wouldn't it be bowling lanes? They're way better than candy canes any day of the week.
Candy canes represent like Christmas.
You're Jewish.
Oh yeah. Maybe that's why it's like a deep-seated. Like I want a stocking full of candy canes. And then I want to lick them so bad, and then they get sharpened. Remember doing that as a kid?
That's the fun part. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you'd be like, look, it's so sharp. And then it breaks.
Shank ya. Yeah.
Another either or question here. Mr. Jones by Counting Crows or just Nora Jones?
Oh man, back in the day, I probably would have said Nora Jones. I do. Her first record was that 8th grade whole hurricane time. Us painting outside. Loved it.
Come Away With Me.
Yeah, that was a great record. It's actually the 20th year anniversary this year. But now I would probably have to say, I don't know. Could I do actually say me and Mrs. Jones? That's.
I'm happy you say that. I was gonna go that route. Well, we were gonna, we had a bunch of Jones.
There's a lot of Joneses.
There's a lot of James Earl Jones. Brian.
I guess I would have to say I'm a big fan of the Mr. Jones song, but I think that first album from Nora Jones was pretty undeniably awesome. So I'd have to go with that one.
Nice, formative. I would say our generation. I know Abby is gonna go. That's like her favorite. I'm gonna go Counting Crows, Mr. Jones. That's like one of our bucket lists is to get Adam Duritz from Counting Crows on this podcast. We will. I promise you.
Yeah, you will.
You heard that, right? He
Magical thinking, guys. We'll make it happen. Yeah.
Yes. Power of positive thinking.
Have you seen the guy from Counting Crows? There's a documentary about the Viper Room in Hollywood and how he used to like make drinks for people.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that wild?
He used to like bartend there for fun.
Yeah, like that was just his thing he did for fun.
It's so funny. I just saw that maybe like 3 weeks ago on Vice.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yep.
It's Dark Side of the 90s. And I was like, he was heavily featured. He's wearing a De La Soul shirt too in the show. And I told Abby about it too. Yeah. What does a rainbow signify to you?
Oh, it's funny enough you say that because I actually have one of my banjos have rainbow stickers on them. I think it just is like eternal happiness, I would say. Yeah, little CVS stickers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That's. I always think. Well, I love the song. I love Judy Garland, "Somewhere Over the Rainbow." I think it just, to me, it signifies like peace within the soul. Like that's the true pot of gold. Is just like pure freedom and just acceptance of the beauty in life.
So I think you're starting to see the thread. We know this. We're bringing stuff up that we've researched, and while the questions seem nonsensical and crazy, they are tailored to the individual guests. So you might now pick up on a couple other things.
Oh, I figured there's a few. So I trust you guys. It's not like we're just talking here. It's all gravy.
I love it. Brian, when's the last time you saw a rainbow and you got really excited?
I had Skittles last week, actually. So
taste the rainbow.
Yeah, that was the last time I saw a rainbow in my mind. So yeah, that's probably my favorite thing about rainbows for sure.
Were they regular Skittles, sour, berry, the new, I don't know, salt ones or whatever?
Totally. They were the regular ones, and it's like the regular ones back from the 90s kind of got added on to. So I think the original ones that I used to really get into, I think there was 4 flavors, and now I think the regular ones have 5 flavors. Because they have like a green apple, a lime, and an orange. So you kind of get gypped on my 2 favorite flavors, which are the red and the blue. There's less of those, but it's still good.
I can't remember having a blue ever, truthfully.
There's a purple, red and purple.
Brian's colorblind, so.
Are you really? I like meeting people who are colorblind. They're like, I like that gray jacket. And you're like, this is purple. Totally.
Oh yeah, that's happened a lot to Brian.
Oh,
good stuff.
Okay. I'll explain this question after. Do you know who Bruce Valanche is?
No.
No,
No.
Abby.
What? Oh, yes, I do. Am I supposed to tell you who Bruce
You're supposed to
Valanche
tell
is?
them. Yes.
Oh, I wasn't ready for that.
Bruce
He's
Valanche-
a comedy
ahead.
writer, actor. God, what would his biggest
Film-
thing
Isn't he
be?
a film critic too? Isn't he a critic?
I think he does do some critic. He was on Hollywood Squares.
Oh yeah. I see him now. I looked him up.
So we like to ask about like D-list celebrities, and if you know who they are.
Yeah.
We had our time with Bridget Fonda,
Ooh.
and then we asked someone recently if they knew who French Stewart is, and then we let them pick who we would ask the next guest, you, who the weird, obscure celebrity would be. So now we're
Yeah.
gonna let you pick the next person we can ask, a minor
love it.
celebrity that will get people talking or doing exactly what Laney's doing, just looking at it.
Well, yeah. No, I love the movie Groundhog's Day. Such a great cast of character actors. And one of my favorite is Needle Nose Ned the Head.
Ned Ryerson. I love
Ned
it.
Ryerson, exactly. The whistling Billy button trick. So Stephen Tobolowsky played him.
And you have to
And-
say, watch that first step. It's a doozy.
It's a doozy, yeah. So that's who.
That
that's
is
what I nominate.
there's no other way. Perfect suggestion. That is perfect. I can't wait to ask our guest tomorrow. And
now we get to cross off Bruce Valanche.
Bruce Valanche
And moving on.
Such a fun gag. Groundhog Day is my second favorite film of all time. I love
What's
it.
your first then?
Back to the Future.
Oh, I can't
Yes.
quite see it. Yes.
It's just
so-
a hoverboard.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Back to the Future, Groundhog. I could watch Groundhog Day just over and over and over again. I love it. I think it's very existential as well.
Oh,
And funny.
totally.
Okay, moving on from Bruce Valanche. We're gonna go to Brian for this one. Actually, I'm gonna split this up. Brian, who's your favorite Disney princess?
Ooh, I'd say probably Rapunzel is pretty cool, right? That's a Disney princess, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Newer, yeah. Mandy Moore played her.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I myself am a fan of Dave Matthews. He actually has a song called Rapunzel, but
Yes.
I always thought the idea was kind of cool, like crawling up like the back of the hair and crawling up to wherever you're going.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of a neat mythical thing, but
Yeah.
You should grow your hair out. Try it.
totally.
Yeah.
Great answer. I love Dave Matthews reference. I like that song as well. Laney, who's your favorite Disney villain?
Ooh, man. Sorry, can I take a moment to ponder this question? Because I was thinking
Yes.
of the princess thing, and then you just switched it around on me there.
Switched it up.
Switcheroo. I know. I mean, I was in the time of The Little Mermaid. That was like my first go-to actually song I think I ever sang in a talent show was a part of this world. So I mean, Ursula, she kind of scared me, to be honest. But I think she has some sass. I think she's got a great song in there. And but actually, I would say Oogie Boogie Man though, from Nightmare Before Christmas. Actually, but I don't know. I don't think that's a Disney movie. But I don't know. I'm just basing it
I
upon
think
the
it
villain
is
songs.
though.
Is it?
I think it's under the Disney umbrella.
So could I say the Oogie Boogie Man?
There are no rules on bothering the band. You could have been like, my favorite Disney villain, Bruce Valanche. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
All right. Abby, who's your favorite Disney sidekick? Oh, I have one. I just thought of one.
I mean, I feel like it has to be Timon and Pumbaa, right?
Ooh,
Ooh,
that's a good
really
one.
good one. That's better than the one I was going to say.
Who are you
Well,
gonna say?
Yeah.
I was gonna say like Smee.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good one too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Oh, do you know they're making a movie with a bunch of comedians? Like it's actually like split up. It's like live action, classic animation, and computer generated animation. And it's coming out, I think, this summer. Yeah.
That sounds
But
fun.
yeah, I think John Mulaney is one of them.
Nice.
And then I forget who the other one is. It's like Will Forte or Jason Sudeikis or something like that.
And I really do like the
Andy
old
Samberg.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Well, I love Disney. Okay, are you superstitious, either of you?
I would say I'm normal-stitious. No, not superly. Maybe a little. I don't know.
Not too much, huh?
Not too much. I mean, I don't know. I do ascribe to sort of karma per se, and just like the belief in I do believe in magical thinking, and that sort of you kind of what you think you become, and that sort of vibe. I do like this weird yoga stuff, so I don't know. It says you're supposed to help with longevity, so we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. Are you superstitious, Ron?
I think the only time I've ever really been superstitious is, playing baseball when I was younger. You're not supposed to step on lines,
Yeah.
So that's where my main superstition came from, and then playing Superstitious down on Broadway, that cover song about 1,000 times too. So.
Oh, good one. So neither of you have a bad luck charm? Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Okay, moving on. Well, on tour, you're driving in the van or automobile or however you get a private jet or however you get. Have you had to pee in a cup?
I peed on the side of the road. I mean, Brian, have you peed in a cup?
Unfortunately, I've done both. Yes.
Yeah. That means you are well on your way. You're a pro. That just means you're a professional musician. You've passed the test.
It's a little harder as a lady to do those things, but my mom did get me. Have you ever heard
a big gulp?
A big gulp? Big gulp?
Yeah.
Oh man, no, there are these things. I don't want to go into it. Never mind. Yeah, let's move on. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you put deodorant on before you get dressed or after you get dressed?
I don't really ever wear deodorant, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Unless I'm really stinky, and
Brian's like, all right, he steps
All right, party on.
out of frame.
And then it's I think after, yeah. So I'm just being honest, But yeah, how about you, Brian?
I'd say just once in the morning, usually just right when I get out of the shower. So I guess that's before I would put my clothes on. Yeah.
Okay. Abigail, we'll go to you as well.
I feel like this is unfair. I don't wear deodorant very often either.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you. Yeah.
I will say this. You're like in a cooler climate. You're both like tiny lady. You're not sweating. I don't know. What about like when you're like shoveling snow or?
Where are you, Abby?
I'm in Wyoming.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Nice.
We're like men. We have to. We're gross.
You'll be in my neck of the woods later this summer.
Yeah,
Yes,
will.
we're gonna get to that. So don't jump the gun. Don't jump the gun. How many teeth do you have?
Oh, me? Actually, I don't think I don't have that many. What's the normal amount? Is like 36?
It's a lot, and I'm not even close to it.
It's 52.
Oh, 52.
What?
I was really off. But
What are
yeah,
you
No,
looking up
32.
sharks?
Sorry, 32.
32. Because yeah, I think I actually have like either like 28 or 26 because like I have a smaller mouth And so yeah, I don't actually have. I got my teeth pulled and then pushed, and then I too like they had impacted wisdom teeth, so those were out too. So that's why I feel like a perpetual child. I kind of get that I'm like a little bit like I don't know. I just don't have a big choppers.
So I was driving and thought of this question and then started counting my teeth with my tongue. I have 27, so I have an odd number.
Oh,
Very weird, right? Abby, Brian, how many teeth you got? Come on, count them.
I think I have all of my teeth except for my wisdom teeth. So
that means you have like 32.
32, I guess. Yeah.
32 includes your wisdom teeth.
Okay, so
though.
28, I guess. 28. Yeah, but I have a lot of fillings and crowns.
So like half teeth.
14 teeth.
Robot teeth. Okay, who would win in a battle, a ninja or still counting teeth?
Well, let's count already.
Oh, folks at home, count your teeth and call in with your number. Who would win in a battle, a ninja or a pirate?
Oh, I mean, I think a ninja because they're stealthier, but I know Brian's a huge fan of pirates, so.
And being a Bucks fan, I mean, if the Bucks got Tom Brady on their team, I think that they would beat the Ninja, but if they didn't, they'd probably lose.
Oh man, are you happy he's coming back? I knew he was gonna come back.
Yeah, I mean, and the reality situation is he only has another year or two left. Well, we'll see. But yeah, it's really cool. I mean, the Bucks will be around for as long as I'm alive, but it's cool to experience one of the best,
He's a longtime Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, so it's one of those things. I don't really condone it. I'm a Tennessee Titans fan now, but like since I've been here, but I'm happy for him. Also, too, he's a season ticket holder before Tom Brady was here. So, but just like literally weeks before. So actually, we are behooved by Tom Brady coming back, so we can sell our tickets.
Oh, nice. Abby is a Green Bay Packers fan.
Oh, get out of here.
But I used to live in Tampa, and I went to games when Chris Sims was there.
Wow.
That's how old I am.
One time I partied with Warren Sapp.
Whoa, tell us about that.
I worked for a design agency, and one of our clients was a craft beer company. And I guess he loved it's here in South Florida, and he lives down here, and he loved this. It's a Belgian, like old school type of brewery, and he loved it. And so we pitched this idea to like, why don't we do a Warren Sapp beer, and he could sign all these fancy bottles. I have a few too. And then I would go there to like get beer or like do work. And sometimes he'd be there. So I have a few photos, and he was a fun man to hang out with.
I feel like he would give a great interview. I feel like he'd be great for the podcast too.
Yeah. I'll try to get Warren Sapp on the pod, and therefore I will not say any more stories because I was going to keep going, and now I won't. Off the air, I'll tell you about Winter Springs and Warren Sapp.
Perfect.
Uber or Lyft?
I mean, I'm more of a Lyft fan because I heard they were supposed to be better toward their workers, sort of thing. But we kind of tend to take Uber just because, like, there're just more people there. They tend to be working there, so you kind of go with what works. I don't know.
When's the last time you took a taxi?
Oh, actually, pretty recently.
In New York?
We didn't take one in New York.
Took buses and trains in New York, but I don't think we did any taxis.
Yeah, where was the last place we traveled city-wise besides New York? It was somewhere pretty recent. Boston. Yeah, we took a taxi in Boston. Yeah. So that was like only a month ago. What was St. Patty's?
Weeks ago.
Yeah, St. Patty's Day. Yeah. So, yeah, no, we taxi it up, man.
Okay, cool. When's the last time you took a pedicab?
Oh, that I do not. I can't remember. Maybe when I was in China. That was like 10 years ago.
Rickshaw,
exactly.
Whoa. Speaking of China, what is your go-to Chinese food order?
Oh, I mean, my favorite is just soup dumplings.
Okay.
So good. You like poke them, suck out all the juice, you pop them in your mouth. So good.
They're really good.
Yeah.
Brian, what's your go-to Chinese food order?
I would say chicken and broccoli for sure, and maybe a couple spring rolls on the side or egg rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abby, I think I know yours, but lay
I
it
do
on
know
us.
mine. It's
General Tso's?
General Tso's.
Oh, nice.
Love it. A little spicy, a little sweet. What's the last dream you remember?
Well, Brian, did you have one pretty interesting one?
I had one last night about I was making an egg and it started kind of like opening up, and I was like, "This is strange." And I took it out, and this well-formed bird flew away and like looked like an amazing bird, and just like was like, "See you later," and that was kind of the end of the dream. So.
Oh my
That was
God, that
pretty-
sounds very metaphorical for something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
totally.
Yeah.
You're blossoming, you're coming out of your shell, something.
What?
No, I was asleep on the plane, and I had a dream that I fell asleep on a bus, and I woke up and I was in Nashville on a bus. That's a pretty boring dream, but I
You have a lot of wild
I have a
dreams.
lot of wild dreams actually, though. A lot of really cinematic movie stuff, but not this one, so it don't count.
In our research, I think 1 out of every 2 articles we read had you quoting or using dreams as a metaphor. So that's why we asked that.
Oh,
And on your bio starts with something about a dream.
oh yeah. Well, I do love dreams as far as just like they just kind of I don't know. I don't really ever necessarily do like waking life dreams where I'm like deciding where it goes. It just kind of happens, but I don't know. To me, it's really fun because it's like this movie, like, especially like sometimes celebrities will come up in my dreams. I'm like, oh man, I just got to see them act for free, you know? Um, yeah, it's just kind of a cool thing that just washes over you, and I think it's like sometimes you like wonder like what's the purpose of dreams. I think it's just like actual self therapy for humans. Like sometimes like when we watch like movies or TV shows, it's like you can just escape your own worries and things and just like zone out into this other thing that like is going on. Like you stop thinking about yourself, and it's one of those things that's like, oh, it makes you feel usually better at the end of it. Like you stopped caring about your own stuff and you saw somebody else going through things. It kind of makes you realize, okay, well, maybe my stuff, that's when the metaphors kind of come in. Realize, okay, maybe this is this processing, synthesizing in a self-comforting way.
So you're telling me the dreams I have from serving tables a decade ago and still freaking out because I'm in the weeds is like therapy?
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Very
Yeah, that's
sadistic dreams. I was just teasing.
I mean, yeah, it could be though, man. It's your way of like processing. You're not over it yet. That's what it takes you back.
Indeed. Okay. Think about this one. Is the golden road beyond the blue?
Oh, man, that was So that's my first little record made, second little record I made. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I mean, I guess, I never really thought about that they're both kind of a little bit of Wizard of Oz kind of vibe, the Golden Road, all the yellow brick road into the blue, beyond the blue skies to the rainbow land. Yeah.
All right, let's go back to rainbow. The beyond the golden road. I get you. I personally, I love those titles, and I was like trying to put together a fun question to see where your brain would go.
Yeah, no, I never really put those together as a thought. So
yeah, I've never heard that asked before. That's a really good question.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan.
Do you follow us on Instagram?
I will now.
Yes, you will. Thank you, everyone. Follow Bothering the Band on Instagram.
Yeah, I think I might have. I don't know. My phone's going really slow. There is like tornado warnings here.
Oh no.
In Nashville right now. So I'm glad we're still connected though. It's still working out.
Yeah, indeed. Have you ever seen a tornado in real life? Either of you?
I haven't in real life. We had a wild one in Nashville, that was a tornado.
2020, right before the COVID hit. I went through East Nashville.
What's COVID?
Yeah, right. There's this like little pandemic thing that happened. I don't know if it happened to you, but
I'm in Florida. We don't know what it's about.
Yeah, right. Oh, man. But yeah, no, that there was one that came through Nashville here. It really tore up some stuff. And really it was only like 10 minutes from our house.
Oh no.
But yeah, so I've smelt it and felt it, but I haven't seen one. Yeah.
Smelt it and dealt it. Sorry, I couldn't.
Denied it and supplied it.
There we go. I love it. When your internet's back up, everyone follow Bothering the Band. Tell everyone where to find you on the old internet.
Yeah, well, I am not Laney Jones on the Instagram. I think I'm Facebook and also YouTube and stuff. And you just Google me. My name is Laney, Laney Jones. Funny story about that. I think I was actually supposed to be with an IE, but my mom did not know that it was actually the same name as her aunt, like Laney Christine, because she was just gonna like her aunt went by Christine, so she was like, oh, asking her mom how, because like it was her grandma was named Laney, so she was like asking me like, how is Laney spelled? And when my grandma found out I was gonna have the same name as her sister, I think she got a little tensions ran high, a little jealousy perhaps. And so yeah, so I'm with an EY instead of an IE. So, but hey, I'm my own person now though. I'm not defined by the past. So
everyone listening, it is not _Laney_Jones. There you go. I did it for you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Another metaphorical question to close out the show. What's better, a troubled mind or a broken heart?
Ooh. I would say, I mean, both are one and the same, really. But, I would say maybe, I don't know, both are required of growth. I think both are points of growth. And a troubled mind, I think as long as you keep growing from it, don't give up, that's I would say the biggest thing. I didn't sound like I'm crying. Oh my gosh, it was just like the coffee stuff got caught in my throat.
Sure, I'm sure. Yeah, okay.
It got really intense just there. Yeah, but I mean, I would say, yeah, maybe with any of them, I think a broken heart would lead to a troubled mind. They're one and the same. So yeah, I mean, I would just say keep going no matter what. Like with any time in life, it's like ups and downs. It's a little waves, a little curves, and whatever is up must come down. Whatever's down, it's got to come up at some point. So just keep going. It's an adventure. It's a ride. Just enjoy the ride.
Well said. And now, what is next for you guys for the music, for the moment? What's next?
Oh man, well, we're super pumped because we're releasing a record on May 20th called Stories Up High. Sometimes when I say it, it sounds like Stories of Pie. So,
I would listen to that as well.
Yeah, it should have came out on Pie Day, you know. But yeah, so we're super pumped about that. We're going on tour. With it, we'll actually be playing in Orlando for you, Ryan, at Will's Pub. We're super pumped about. And then yeah, we're opening up for this band called Blitzen Trapper, which if you haven't listened to them, they're freaking amazing, and we're super pumped to do like 2 weeks out in the Montana, the Utah, Idaho, Wyoming. So yeah, we're super pumped to be opening for them. We're doing it as a trio this time. So we're kind of been practicing a different setup than normal, and it's been really cool and challenging. I'm playing a lot more electric guitar and keys, and we're working on harmonies and stuff. So I think it's going to be a really fun time. Yeah.
Of course. And we will gladly promote the new record. We can't wait. Everyone, go listen to Laney Jones, Brian with an I. This has been a very fun episode. This has been a very, very fun episode. We can't thank you enough. Take us out. I don't know. Say something. You guys are filled with all the wisdom. You can take us out. I'm done.
What you got, Brian?
Brian.
I'll get you the beat.
Get us a beat here, Brian. Yeah. Actually, yeah. What you got, man? Oh, okay, bongos.
I'll get you a beat. Here we go.
Yeah, give me a beat. Yeah. My name is Laney Jones, and we're on Bothering All the Band. We had a great time. There's Brian. With an I. Giving the beat. Having a good time. Tonight.
Nothing's gonna hold me back but myself. And if you take the fast train out, there's a story to tell. And no one's gonna bring me down if I don't let them. And you'll never get your hands on my secret weapon. No. And I've been hiding on the sunny side, and I got a little lonely trying to arrive. 'Cause it's something wonderful to be alive. There's so much more than a fancy place to die. Looking